Yeah, good morning, everyone. So, in yesterday's session, we discussed about all features of React and concerns. So, features and concerns of React we learned in our previous class. What are the advantages and some concerns with React? What are the issues in React? We learned about that. Now, once you are aware of the complete concept of React, means what is React and how React is having good features in building single page applications. What are the concerns in React? Now, today we are going to learn how to use React. So, actually, there are two basic things. You can use React in an existing web application. That means already you have a web application and you built an web application and you want its interface effective, then you can use React in an existing web application. Generally, whenever you learn React on YouTube or anywhere when you watch, everywhere you will see one example like how to create a React application, how to practice in that application. But not just React application, we can use React in any application, any project we can use React. In any project we can deal with React, we can use React. That means you are using a .NET, Java, PHP, Python, or any web UI application. In that you can use React. Today we are going to see two basic things. First, we will learn how to use React in an existing web application. Means actually many people have doubt like, do I need to build a separate React application? So, or I can use in my existing application. So do you know you can use React even in one page of application? That means in one page, React can work. In another page, Angular can work. That means it's not like we use different applications. In one application, both can be used. You can use React even in one page, which you will see today. Let's see. So what we are going to learn first is set up environment for React. So we have to set up environment for React. To start working with React, what you need to set up in your computers, first you need to know. I hope if you are coming from the background of web technologies, already you have the environment ready. But I will give you a brief overview of what you need to have in your computers. First important is you have to download and install Node.js on your PC. This is the first thing you have to do. In order to start practicing and working with React, so you have to make sure that you have installed Node.js on your PC. Now the question is, to work with React, why we need Node.js? So you need to set up Node.js on your PC, and Node.js you can get from the official website. So this is the Node official website. I will just give you the link also. So from this Node official website, you can download Node.js and install on your PC. It is mandatory. Without this, you cannot start working with React. And why you need Node.js for React is Node.js is used to build servers and create web applications. We can build server, we can host web applications on server, and we can run them by using Node.js environment. Node.js provides an environment where you can build web applications and you can deploy web applications, you can create servers, and you can manage the servers. So to create servers, to create web applications, and to maintain a middleware, you need Node.js. So we have to download and install this Node.js. Actually, why you are installing Node.js? Node.js is used to build web applications and create servers. To build web application and create server, you can use this. It provides an environment for managing web applications. Not only that, it provides a package manager, so which is used by developers to install, update, or uninstall any library required for project. All these things you can do with Node.js on your PC. So Node.js is required on the device that you are working. And I hope you already worked with any web development, you know package managers. Package managers are the software tools used by software engineers in various coding environments to install libraries and frameworks that they need for a project. And there are so many package managers. You have package managers like Yarn, you have like Boa, you have like NuGet. So you have like Composer, you have like Ruby Gems, Ruby Gems. So these are all different types of package managers and NPM. So many package managers are present. So you need to install Node.js on your PC. So you need Node.js for setting up an environment where you can build web applications, you can maintain servers. And you need a package manager, and the package manager is used for installing any library that you need for a project, update the library from one version to another, or uninstall any library that you don't need in a project. All these things you can do using package managers. I hope you have used package managers even while working with HTML, JavaScript also. Because if you have learned Bootstrap, you have learned any third parties, you can install them by using package managers. So first, you have to install this. You can see this is Node.js. And the main purpose of Node.js is it lets the developers to create servers and web applications. It will also help them to create command line tools and scripts also. It is used for building and maintaining environment for web. So you download this, you download the version of Node.js. Actually, Node.js is cross-platform. On which device you are using, it can recognize the device related platform and it will provide download related to the device. If you are using Mac or Linux, the download will be given for Mac and Linux. So if you are using for Windows, it will be given for Windows. You have to just download the package and install it. Just 2-3 steps. Next process will be there. You have to follow that. So once you install this Node.js on your PC, you know Node.js will give you a package manager. So you see it also be installed via package managers. You can install through package managers, but once you install Node.js, you will get package manager. Package managers, so many are there. For example, we have Bootstrap. This is Bootstrap. Bootstrap, jQuery, Angular, React, so many are there. For example, I want to use Bootstrap in my project. Then if I want to use Bootstrap in my project, you can see when you go to downloads. So when I go to download, then it provides an option that you can download via package managers also. And what are the package managers we are having? So NPM, Yarn, Ruby Gems, Composer, NuGet, these are all various package managers. And once you install Node.js on your PC, Node.js comes with a package manager called NPM. So once you install Node.js, you will get the package manager NPM. You can check whether it is working or not. What you can do is open your command prompt and test. So you have to test two commands. One is node v and npm v. That is the version. Once you install Node.js on your PC, you need to check whether they installed properly or not and which version is installed. So make sure that you have the latest version of Node.js because the old versions of Node.js are no longer supported for modern React. So you cannot use them. So make sure that you upgraded your Node.js if you have any old version of Node.js, because latest versions of React will not work on old. Even Windows 7 is not suitable for Node. You have to upgrade yourself from Windows 7 to Windows 8 and higher version. Windows 7 PCs are no longer supported. So you cannot use them. So even to build a React application also, they are not suitable. So make sure that if you are using Windows, you have Windows 8 and higher versions, right? Now we will open the command prompt. I will open the command prompt in my PC. And here we have to test. So node flag v, this is for node version. I have 21.7, that is the latest version. And npm v, this is the package manager version, which is 10.5. So we have the latest versions available. So that is enough. So once you have this package manager, now next important is after you have the package manager, so now you need an editor. I hope you all people have download and install Visual Studio Code Editor. This is the editor we are going to use for React. So we will build React application. We will maintain React application on Visual Studio Code Editor. I hope you all people have that editor because you have already HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and majority of people you may practiced on this. So make sure that you are having this Visual Studio Code Editor. Entire our project development will happen on this editor. There are so many editors you can use. This is the best, right? There are so many editors. You have, these are all different types of editors available. This is the editor's official resource. And these are all different types of editors we are having. So many editors are there. Different language, different concept requires different editors. These are all different types of editors. You can use any of these editors. And we are going to use this Visual Studio Code as editor. This is the best editor available in the current market to develop even Angular, React, any type of application. There are so many, you can use any of them. But some are paid services, freely, not license available. We have a good support because Visual Studio Code belongs to Microsoft. You are going to learn a TypeScript language to build React applications later. The TypeScript language also belongs to Microsoft. In that case, this will be a best editor for building React applications with JavaScript as well as TypeScript. Because TypeScript language belongs to Microsoft, this editor also belongs to Microsoft. You will have best support. So you download this. I hope all of you have this. This is the code Visual Studio. This is Visual Studio official link. I will just give you the official link. This is the Visual Studio official link. You can download from here. So I hope you all people have this in your PCs. So no need to again show you this process. You already have that. For this React, HTML, CSS, JavaScript knowledge is mandatory. This class is not for anybody who don't know JavaScript. So this is only for the people who finished their JavaScript, done with JavaScript. Here you are not going to learn any JavaScript. You are just going to use JavaScript. If you are not aware of JavaScript, this is not for you. So this is for the people who are completely aware of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, complete. So there's no chance, no scope of anybody here without JavaScript. And we are not going to teach any JavaScript here. We are going to use it. So this is purely only React, right? So here we use lot of JavaScript. You should be aware of that. So now once you've done this, Visual Studio Code is there. In my PC, I am having this Visual Studio Code editor. This is the Visual Studio Code editor. So once you install this editor, I hope you people have some plugins also. Once you have this Visual Studio Code editor, this is the Visual Studio Code editor I am having. Once you have this editor, you please install some extensions also. So what you need to do is install following extensions for Visual Studio Code. So after installing Visual Studio Code, open your Visual Studio Code and install some extensions. You can open this Visual Studio Code editor, and in this editor, you have a extensions category. You can go to this extensions category. In this, you will find some extensions. I will give you some extensions. Initially, you download live server. You download VS Code icons, and you download IntelliSense for CSS class names in HTML. Initially, these are enough. Later, I will show you some React related development tools also. We will install React related development tools later, which will help to understand React debugging. So how you debug a React application, how do you find the problems and fix them? For that, we need some other tools. We will see that once we use it. So initially, you have to install these extensions. Live server is to run your project on a server. Of course, you can create a server by yourself if you have knowledge of Node.js. If you have knowledge of Node.js, you can create a server by yourself. And otherwise, you have to install a server which you can use for running your React application. And VS Code icons, they will give friendly icons to the files so that by seeing the icons, you can understand which file you are using. That means in a project, you have to work with hundreds of files and every file looks same, then it is confusion. If you download this plugin, you will get every file relative icon so that easy to understand. This is JavaScript file, this is CSS file, this is HTML. You can easily spot it. For that, you better need this VS Code icons. And when you are building an application, you need lot of help related to HTML, CSS. The last one will help you. That means when you are writing any CSS, you are designing any styles, then usually CSS and styles, so many classes are present. Those all classes, it will help you. That means it will guide you. You are writing any wrong class name, it will show you suggestion. That is IntelliSense for class name. Remember, you are learning React. What is the purpose of React? We already discussed what is the purpose of React. To build, React is a library used to build single page applications, to build user interface. And a React developer cannot say that I don't know proper JavaScript or HTML or CSS. Many people ask, like, is it talking? You are saying that with React, I will build a great interface. And how you can build an interface without any CSS and Bootstrap? That question itself is surprising, like what you are talking about. You are learning a web technology which is used to build interactive UI. That means interactive user interface. And you are saying that is it necessary to learn CSS and Bootstrap? Are you joking? That means CSS, Bootstrap. Without that, if you put React in your resume, people can laugh at your skills. Like what you are talking about. React means building interactive UI. And people cannot imagine you as a React developer if you don't have CSS Bootstrap like knowledge. Some companies even use Tailwind CSS. They have so many third-party CSS libraries. That means you cannot call yourself as React developer without complete knowledge of this CSS and all. Remember, whatever concepts you are going to learn in this class in React JS, so you can apply for jobs as React developer individually, as React developer, not as Java.NET developer. Even you can apply yourself as a React developer individually. That means we are going to learn end to end every concept in depth with project. So you can call yourself as React developer. You can apply for jobs on as React developer, which is in great demand currently. That means even you have knowledge of Java and .NET, you can call yourself as a React developer now. That is the reason when you apply as a React developer, a strong knowledge of user interface is required. And that is not React what teaches you. So that is what HTML, CSS, JavaScript will teach you. That's the reason you have a great career choice now. Java people, .NET people who are learning React, apart from their Java, .NET, they can individually work as React developer, which have good market and good requirement in the current generation. So you need to set up all these libraries. Let's say here we will search. You have a live server library. You download and install this library. And you have another library called VS Code icons. You download and install that VS Code icons also. So you download and install this VS Code icons library. And you download and install IntelliSense for CSS class names in HTML. These are the three extensions basically you need. Later, some more will come. So first install your Node.js and install Visual Studio Code, and you add all these plugins in the Visual Studio Code. Now your PC is ready to start using web applications. Now what we will learn in the first point is how we can use React in an existing application. That means already we have a application. It may be a traditional web application or a Java .NET based web application. And in that web application, we are building UI and we want it better. Then we can add React in it and make it better. Let's see how to add React into an existing web application. So let's see that concept now. That means now what you have to do is create a new traditional web application. Create a new traditional web application. So in your HTML, CSS, you learned how to build a ordinary web application. So what is the basic environment you know for a traditional web application? So how we can build a traditional web application is, first step, what you need to do, you need to create a new folder for your project. So create a new folder for your project on your PC. You have to do that in any location on your PC, create a new folder. So in my PC locations, this is my computer. In my computer, so some D drive I am choosing. In D drive, I will create a new folder and I will name it as web app. It is a simple empty folder we created. So that is ready. So that means I created a simple folder called web app. So that is my project related folder. You know, web application have two paths, one physical path, another one virtual path. Physical path is the location where we keep the resources, and virtual path is the location from where we access the resources. So this is the physical path where we keep all the resources for a project. So for a web application, whatever resources are required, we will keep in this place. So what you have to do now is open a project folder in Visual Studio Code. You have to open the project folder in your Visual Studio Code. Your Visual Studio Code is the editor that you are using. Now, what you have to do is, so let's open the folder, and the folder is in D drive and it is a web app. Web app. We select that folder. Now currently this folder is empty. Now I need to set up this like a project. So then what is the basic environment here? First step, what you need to do is to set up like a project. So here install open terminal in Visual Studio Code and run the command. You have to run the command npm init and y. I hope everybody knows this, because when you create a project, any web application that you created in your HTML, JavaScript and all, every project related metadata is kept in a file called package.json. Project related metadata is kept in a file called package.json. Project is managed, it is maintained through this package.json. So this command is going to generate, it is going to generate what it generates package.json file. It generates package.json file. And you know, traditional web development, in every web application, you will have a package.json. Package.json contains project related metadata. That means what is your project name, what version you are developing, what dependencies you are using, what libraries, dependencies means what libraries you are using, which version libraries you are using. All that information is kept in a file called package.json. So suppose if you want to practice some project, you are learning Angular, React, something. So online there are so many free projects. You can go online, several people provide free projects. You can download them. And once you start, after downloading, once you start running the project on your PC, it will fail. Why it will fail? Because in that project, what libraries and which version libraries he is using, same libraries must be installed in your PC. Now, as a developer, how you know in that project which library he used, which version library he used? How you will know? Without knowing that, how you can you run a project directly? And any developer, once he want to know about a project, he will first visit this file, and that file is package.json. That is package.json. It contains all information about the project. So that means project versions, project copyrights, project related dependencies, their versions, everything. So to generate that, you need to use this. You know the terminal. Go to terminal menu. In Visual Studio, you can open a terminal. This is the terminal. So terminal is nothing but the command line tool. In this terminal, you have to run the command, and the command is npm init and flag y. Remember, these commands are case sensitive. Everything matters. Spaces, capitalization, exactly you have to configure. Okay, now once I run this, you can see that automatically a file is generated package.json. That means in the project, we have a file called package.json. Package.json is available. So you can close the terminal, and if you want, you can see it, but later you can understand it. This is package.json. As of now, package.json contains this information. Later on, this file will be extending according to what you are developing. Everything will be configured here. Developers use this package.json even to configure the project related commands. That means which command I should use to run project, which command I should use to compile, which command I should use to test. All such commands configuration also defined in package.json. So later on, you will working on this, you will see how to use it also. And it is not final, it will be updating automatically. When you install anything newly, this will update into package.json, right? So initially, this is the metadata of your project. That is the first thing. Second, traditionally, every project, what happens is create a new file, readme.md. Means according to the project tradition, every traditional project will have another file called readme.md. This is the file created by developers for developers. Developers create a file called readme for developers. That means if your project is to be used by another developer to make some changes or to add something new into that, then how a developer can understand about your project? So where you kept which one, which command you configured for certain things, all such information they maintain in a help document. This is it is just like a help document designed by developer for developers. Every project in design mode will have a file called readme.md. So that means you have readme.md. You can add this file. So readme.md. This is a help. Actually, it is just like a notepad file, but readme have a extension called md. And later on, you will understand once you learn publishing websites. That means when you learn publishing on cloud, publishing on various locations. Later, I will show you how to collaborate with Git, how to use the Git repositories, cloud deployment we will learn. When we learn, you will understand in development mode how this will help the developers. Currently, see, developers can write the help like so hash and some title. So React, so version. And here we put some information. So this application is not a React application, and something like it is just it is using React. So it is using React in a page. So it is a traditional web application, traditional web app, such information. That means use the following commands to test. So like use the following commands for uh, debug and deploy. Like this, we put all the help related to developers, we keep this. So it is not necessary for you to type anything there. Just I showed you a overview. Right? When you design a project, we guide other developers about this project using a help document, which is readme.md. Right? Next, after this, now what you need to do here is, after doing this, add following folders into project. Traditionally, so every web application will have two folders. One is public, another one is SRC. It is mandatory. Almost in every professional web application, you will have two folders initially generated. One is public and another SRC. So public, so it is used to keep all static resources. Static resources. That means website related all static resources you can keep in public. Static resources like you have HTML, so pages, images, documents, so everything, media content, all such things you can keep here. So for a project, whatever images you need, whatever HTML documents you need some PDF or Word documents, spreadsheets, PowerPoint presentations, audio, video files, everything you keep in a folder called public. Public is meant for keeping all the static resources. And the SRC is used, it is used to keep all dynamic resources. Dynamic resources like we have .javascript files, .typescript files, .javascript extension, TypeScript extensions, .css files, .scss files, .less files. So these are all dynamic files that you use in a project. These are all dynamic files that you use in a project. So many types of dynamic files are present, you can use them. So you can have all these type of dynamic files: JavaScript, TypeScript, JavaScript extension, TypeScript extensions, CSS, SCSS related to SAS. At high level projects, we don't directly use CSS, we use the language called SAS and less. So SAS and less are like CSS pre-compilers, we call them as. So if a project is using large amount of CSS with lot of effects, then the developers choose to use SAS. SAS files will have extension SCSS. Right? So these folders you need to add into your project. Now let's go and here add a folder. One folder is public and another folder is SRC. These are the two folders we are having. Now what we need to do is, initially we will not use any SRC, later we will use. Initially in the public folder, we will keep a file index.html. That means application starts with index.html. So we will start with index.html. So we will put this index.html. So actually this index.html is a simple HTML page. And I will just keep as index. And here I have an option. So welcome. And so here I will put an option like it is a traditional web application. And important is, so go to here I will just give a option like React is not active in this page. So here I will give, we are using React in Anchor. I will give a home in home page. Just roughly I given some points here. Href I will keep a home.html, and I will add another page in the public, that is home.html. Because I told you that this is home.html page. Now I told you that you can use React in just one page also. That's what we are going to prove now, how we can use that. That means generally people think React means we have to build one application for only React. It's not like that. In many projects, we use React in only certain areas. Do you know websites like IRCTC? If you know websites like IRCTC, some modules are built in Java, JSP. Some modules are built in ASPX, which is ASP.NET. Some modules are built in PHP. It is a hybrid application. That means it is not built with one technology. That means all technologies are present in it. In some modules, you will see JSP will come. In some modules, you will see ASP.NET will come. In some modules, you will see PHP is coming. You will be surprised, like, what is this? So many technologies are there. That means the point here is, it's not necessary that you have to build an app with only one environment. You can have an app. Many people have this doubt, like, can I use Angular and React in one application? Of course, you can use. You can use. So, but the point here is, so why you are using React in this page is to build little interactive UI, interactive user interface. So now in this index page, I am not using React. Where I want to use React, I want to use React in which page? Home page. Here I want to use React. That means here I will put a, so here we will put some logic there and we will see how to use it. So first thing, this is the environment ready. So what you need to do after this, next step, one more thing you have to do. So add following files into public folder. So what are the files you need to add? Index.html and home.html. So what is our intention is, our intention is to use React in only home page, not in index page. But you know that index page is the startup page for every project. Every project starts automatically with which page? Index.html. So it is a traditional web application. It will start with index, but we will use React in a home page. That's the reason I given a link which navigates to home. That means what you can do now, you start this. The page code I will share with you in the classroom code I will give there. So I will run this index, because now you have a live server installed. You can click on this go live. At the bottom, you will find go live, which will start your server, or you can simply right click and say open with live server. Open with live server, then it is going to start the server and it is running. Now this is your index page. In index page, we have some information like welcome. It is a traditional web application. React is not active in this page. We are using React in home page. And when I click home, now in this page, I want React to show something. That means I want React to take control of this page and show something on this page. Let's see how we can do that. That means how to use React in a page. So this is the key concept now. So how to use React in a page? Let's see that part. Means what is the concept here is. So now next point, add React environment to home.html page. Add React environment to home HTML page. So how you can add React environment to home.html page? So what is the basic point here? So here there are two basic uh, concepts available. Currently, we are learning React latest version is 18. But companies are not still using React 18 everywhere. So the new projects are using React 18. Before React 18, we have versions up to React 17. Remember, so the versions up to 17 are completely different from 18. Completely different. That means generally what people think about a new version is they think that new version means some new features added. But React 18 is completely reconstructed, redesigned. It is not an improved version of React 17. Up to React 17, it is different. React 18 onwards, it is different. That means even people who know React 17 earlier, they have to know about a new approach in React 18. So many libraries they changed, so many libraries they removed, and now you need to follow a new approach. Even the approach of building a project changed. That is the reason these React versions are completely different. Up to 17 version, that means 16, 15, 14, and up to 17 version, up to 17, whatever versions, their environment is different. Even library is different. Now from 18 onwards, completely reconstructed. React 18 is not a improved version of React previous versions. It is complete rewrite of React. That means they reconstructed React with new library. And one of the major challenge for developers in future is React 19. They reconstructed the complete compiler. Now this is very dangerous. Dangerous means you have to learn so many things and you should be aware of so many new things in 19 now. Why? Because if anybody is changing compiler, it is a challenging one. You are changing the compiler means now I need to know your new compiling system. That is very challenging one for a developer to deal with the new version. It's challenging in React 19 now because they officially already announced that we are changing the compiling system. That means the architectural flow may also change if compiling system changes. This is very challenging now in future 19 version. But remember, React up to 17 approach is different. React 18 onwards approach is different. But one great advantage is React, whatever new versions they are developing, they are backward compatible. What does it means? Backward compatible means even a low version syntax you write, it will work. But it will warn you saying that please don't continue this. You please use the new technique. That means it will not stop. Even you use old mechanism, so old approach, it will work. But it will give you warnings saying that don't follow this anymore. We are not supporting this. So that is the reason. And remember, 18 onwards, even the official website, they have changed. Official website of React, they changed because they completely reconstructed it. That means the official website of React also changed from 18 version onwards. I will show you both versions websites. You can try them. Suppose you see here, that means what is the environment you have to add. So here 2 points are there. You can add, so legacy environment. You can add legacy environment. So which is suitable. suitable up to 17x version. You can add legacy environment, which is suitable up to 17x version. So you can add modern environment for 18x versions. So React 18 is a complete rewrite of React, a complete rewrite of React library. That means the old concepts are there, but they are completely modified. They are completely changed now. Several libraries of React have changed. So you cannot continue with the same old approach anymore. I will explain both concepts. I will show you in 17 how they build apps, in 18 how they build apps. Both I will show, because even you are learning 18 in many projects, you may have to still work with up to 17 version. Almost out of 100 projects on React, 90 are still on 17. That's the reason you may have to work with an older version. Then you should know the older environment also, how it works. We will see both of them. So now React 18 is a complete rewrite of React library. Now, how to set the version? Actually, you have two official websites for them. This is legacyreactjs.org. This is legacyreactjs.org for React up to 17. And the latest one is this is dev. So react.dev. That is the new one. This is the new one for React 18. This is the new one. Completely their documentations also changed. Their official support also changed. And they recommend React developers to please migrate to the latest. They are not supporting the old version anymore. That means they officially announced that we are not going to support the old versions anymore. If you are using them, you are on your own. That means if you have any problems, you have to solve. We are not responsible for that. Legacy is already outdated now. But still companies are using, because they already know that environment, and any issues are there, they can fix them. That is the reason, right? So these are two important options, legacy. Another one is this. Now let's see how to use the legacy. After that, we will see the new. That means the old and the new concepts, we will use them. How to set up the page. So what you have to do now is go to home page, because in home page you want to use the React. If you want to use React in your project, there are two ways. One, either you install all the libraries in project, or you get the libraries for using CDN. I hope you people know CDN. You learned CSS, JavaScript like concepts. You know that CDN is nothing but the files are hosted in a separate cloud server. From the cloud server, we access the files and use the files in our project without downloading them. When you learned about CSS Bootstrap, you know how to use the CDNs, right? So here the point is there are two ways. That means we will see the example now. The example is adding React 17 environment to home page. So we are doing this now, okay? Adding React 17 environment to home page. After that, we will see how to deal with 18 environment. Both differences you will understand. So first thing, how you can add 17x environment. For that, what you need is every React environment requires three basic libraries. You need three basic libraries. One is React, another one is React DOM, another one is Babel. These three libraries are required. So to use React in any page, you need these three libraries. One is the React library, React DOM library, another one is Babel. These three libraries are required. Actually, React is the core library for React. So for React JS and React is the core library. React DOM is virtual DOM library. Virtual DOM library. It creates and manipulates virtual DOM. We discussed about React always works with virtual DOM. So that means you need React core library and you need a React virtual DOM library. Two libraries are required. React core library to set up a React basic environment and React DOM library to take control of virtual DOM. Because React is not going to interact with actual DOM. You have to deal with virtual DOM. Already I explained what is shadow DOM and virtual DOM. Those three things we already discussed in our previous session. Now another, who is Babel? Any idea? Babel is JavaScript compiler. You know, JavaScript is interpreted and compiled programming language. JavaScript is both interpreted and compiled. If you are using JavaScript in a browser, then what does it mean? I hope you people know. JavaScript have two techniques, JIT technique. Another one is AOT technique. What is JIT? Just in time. What is AOT? Ahead of time. Just in time. And ahead of time. Ahead of time. These are the two compiling techniques. There are so many JavaScript compilers, like V8 is a compiler of JavaScript, Babel is a compiler of JavaScript, Angular, React, Vue, all these people use Babel as JavaScript compiler. For JavaScript applications to compile JavaScript, we use this Babel. And we have two types of compiling techniques, JIT and AOT. What is difference between them? JIT means the library is loaded in browser and it is compiled in browser. AOT means before it reaches the browser, it will compile. That means you learned JavaScript. I hope you learned this point that JavaScript is interpreted as well as compiled. That means you written JavaScript code. Then what happens in an application? You have two facilities. Actually, this is browser. Now what happens? You can compile JavaScript here itself. Before it reaches the browser, you can compile here itself. If you are compiling here itself, then it is AOT. We call it as ahead of time. Or there is another way, load JavaScript in browser and you compile in browser. If you are compiling in browser, then it is what? JIT. JavaScript supports two type of compiling techniques. One is ahead of time, another one is just in time. Ahead of time, before it reaches the browser, it is compiled. Now latest all technologies using ahead of time, which is better, faster. And JIT is nothing but it is loaded in browser and it is compiled in browser. And Babel supports both type of compiling techniques. It can compile JIT or it can compile AOT, ahead of time. So Babel is a compiler which is required to compile the code and run the JavaScript code in browser. So you need these three libraries. So what you can do is you can get the libraries from CDN, or you can download using package manager. How to download using package manager, later I will show you. First we will see CDN, then we will go with package manager. So you need to get these three libraries. So what you can do, that means to use React, you need three libraries. React and React DOM, those are available in React official website. So what you have to do, go to the React legacy website. This is legacy. This is legacy React website. This is React. This site is no longer updated because it is old version and they are asking to go to the new one, right? But it is still available because companies are still using this. And what you have to do is in that, go to docs. In the document category, there will be CDN links. You have to go to CDN links. Get the CDN links. You will see the two libraries are present. And you know, a library is provided by anybody in two ways, for development and for production. You learn JavaScript. What files are used for production? JavaScript minified files are used for production. Unminified files are used for development. JavaScript, CSS, you have production files and you have, so the design development files. Development files have .css, .js. Production files will have min.css, min.js. You learned in CSS and JavaScript what is minification, how to compress the code and minify the files, right? So now it is asking, do you want development CDN or you want production CDN? Production CDN means min will be there, and development CDN is not a minified one. For developers, this is the best one. Why? Because production is good for publishing. Once you finish a development, for publishing, it is good. Why? Because if you use production files, they are compressed. They cannot track the correct errors and show you. That means they will report error, but they cannot track the line where error came. But in development, what is advantage? You exactly know in which line what error came, right? You can easily spot that. That's the reason better you use this. So what you need to do, copy these two files, means copy those two links. They are CDN links. And I will copy this direct one first for you. So this is React CDN I will give. React CDN, this is the location. You have to visit this legacy.reactjs.org. In the docs, you will get CDN links. There you can get the CDN links, you can copy them, right? So first you go there. So I will go to that, the development links here. So temporarily, I will keep them here. So later, you don't need these, just you visit the website, you will get them, okay? These I need to keep it in my page. So let's go to the home page. We will go to the home page. In home page, we will paste them here. So we are keeping the scripts here, and you know, head section and body section. Head section saves the round trips and body section will use the round trips. That's you learned in HTML. What is head, what is body, where which content took place. That is your HTML. So now two scripts are ready. One is React, another one is React DOM. You need one more. What is it? Babel. Okay, let's go to the Babel website. This is Babel official website. So in this Babel website, this is a JavaScript compiler. Angular, React, Vue, all technologies use this Babel only. Everybody uses the same compiler. Now in the Babel compiler, go to docs. In the docs, you will have presets, and not in the presets. It is having, I think, in packages. In the integration packages, you have Babel standalone. You need this one. So that means what you have to do, go to Babel website, integration packages, in that Babel standalone, or you can just Google Babel standalone CDN. You will get a link directly. But come to this official website, you will get the correct link. And here, so there will be a CDN link. You copy that CDN link. This is the CDN link actually. Copy the CDN link. Okay. Okay, this is the CDN link and you keep that in your project. This is what you need to do. That means now the 3 libraries are ready. And where you get this Babel, I will copy this one. So this is Babel CDN. Babel CDN. So this is standalone. Standalone. This is the Babel CDN standalone official link. You visit this, you will get the Babel standalone library. So we have the React CDN and you have the Babel CDN. These 2 libraries are required. You need to link these 2. That means now your page is ready to use React. It is ready to use React. But remember, React, Angular, anything will not work if JavaScript is not working in your browser. So we have to make sure that JavaScript is working in the browser. How to tell user that JavaScript is working or not in his browser? How to tell user whether JavaScript is working or not in his browser? We do that by using no script of HTML. No script is an HTML element used to verify whether JavaScript is enabled or not. Because browsers can disable JavaScript. If browser disables JavaScript, nothing will work. That means JavaScript will not work. JavaScript based frameworks libraries will not work. You have to make sure that JavaScript is enabled in the browser. And HTML teaches you a no script element which verifies whether JavaScript is enabled on the browser or not. That means you have to write here, please enable JavaScript on your browser. On your browser. This message you will see when JavaScript is disabled in their browser. For example, I will run this page now. And this is the index page. And from the index page, I will do one thing. I will go to Chrome. This is not Chrome, Edge. I go to my Edge settings. Here I will search for JavaScript. And you will get JavaScript settings. You see JavaScript is currently allowed in my browser. I will block JavaScript. Generally, we block JavaScript to avoid any type of attacks on our browser. That means generally, if you have a suspicious software running, which is broadcasting your information to others, that means then you disable JavaScript immediately. That is why they give the option of disabling JavaScript. That means JavaScript is used by Trojans. What Trojans will do is they are very harmful than virus. Virus is okay, but Trojans, what they do? They allow anybody to control your device remotely. And accidentally, intentionally, or any Trojan is installed in your PC, then somebody is hacking your PC. And JavaScript plays the key role in that. That's the reason they give an option to disable JavaScript if you have any threats like that. And when JavaScript is disabled, now you can see that, refresh. I go to home page and it shows the message, please enable JavaScript on your browser. But when JavaScript is enabled in my browser, I enabled again JavaScript. Now you will not see this message anymore. It will not display the message. No script is an element used in HTML to verify whether JavaScript is working or not. If JavaScript is not working, it will show the message. So to use React, you have to make sure that JavaScript is working. That is the reason in every React application, we keep this element to verify whether it is working or not. Otherwise, we will alert them. Please enable JavaScript. Okay, next, we will create a container here, div. And this div have an ID called root. You can use any ID. Now, what is the point about React? React is not going to use the DOM directly. What React is going to use? Virtual DOM. So what React will do is it will design a hierarchy and virtually it will create a hierarchy and add that into this container. That means what React has to do is it should design the hierarchy. That means you have actual DOM. Browser have an actual DOM. Then in this actual DOM, you are having a div. And this div have an ID called what? Root. Now what React will do? React is not going to work with actual DOM. What it will do is it will use an virtual DOM. In virtual DOM, you create your hierarchy. Anything you can design. And that means here you design everything and you add this into the actual DOM. That is the process. That means React will not directly deal with the actual DOM. JavaScript will deal with actual DOM, but React will deal with virtual DOM. Virtual DOM. And in virtual DOM, you design everything and add this to the actual DOM. Then how do we do that? Let's see. I will write a script element now. And remember, this script need to be compiled and processed by Babel. So script type must be text/Babel. Otherwise, you know that in your JavaScript, what is the MIME type of script? Text/JavaScript. That is the MIME type of your script. Text/JavaScript. If you are using module system, it is type as module. Script type is module if you are using JavaScript module system. Otherwise, this. And you are using Babel as a compiler. Babel can understand only when the type is mentioned as text Babel. Now Babel can understand. So what we do here? It's very simple. We will use a method called React DOM.render. React DOM is a method. React DOM is used to create virtual DOM. And I told you the HTML processing, remembered? HTML parsing. In HTML parsing, what is render? I told you the process, right? HTML parsing process. What is the parsing process? Markup to bytes, bytes to characters, characters to tokens, tokens to nodes, nodes to DOM. DOM will undergo layout, after layout, render, and finally paint. Render is the process of finally generating the output. Output generation is called render. React DOM is going to create a virtual DOM and it should render what you want to render in virtual DOM. I want to render welcome to React.js. I want to render this welcome to React.js. Later we will render login screens, registration form. Later we will design lot. Okay, where you want to render this? I want to render welcome to React.js. And where you want to render this? I want to render in the root container. Am I right? How do you access that container? Document dot get element by ID. What is its ID? Root. This is how we do. That means what it is going to do is in virtual DOM, it is going to create this message. And where this message it is going to push, it is going to add into the actual DOM. That means this is which one? Virtual DOM. And in virtual DOM, I just kept a message. Later we will keep buttons, text boxes, screen, everything. And this is going to render the information into what? Actual DOM. That root is a actual DOM element. Into the actual DOM element, we are adding the virtual DOM. Okay, once run this and see now. And you can see that welcome to React.js is there. I will go to the index page. In index page, we are not using React. From index page, when I go to home, then home is using React. It shows welcome to React. But this is only up to React 17, this approach. From React 18, they removed this facility. No more CDN links. No more general libraries. They changed the approach different. Completely building a project is different in React 18. This is up to what? React 17. First, we will learn some basic things here. Then we will shift into React 18. We will learn both because we have to understand differences in interviews also. They ask what is difference between this and that, right? So now you can see the errors. Right click, go to inspect and see there is a warning in console. Go to the console. You have a warning. It says that React DOM render is no longer supported in 18. It is no longer supported in 18. Currently, it is running which one? 17. 17. But still it is working. No problem. It is working because we said that it is backward compatible. And observe carefully. If I don't mention the type text Babel, your traditional is what? JavaScript. It is not going to work. It cannot work because it requires a special compiler, and the compiler is what? Babel. And you need to make sure that the type is what? Text Babel. Then it is going to compile that, and it is going to show the result now. It is going to show the result. So that means you haven't built a React application. You built a traditional web application. In that, only one page is using React. Now, do you know in index page, I can use Angular. In the same page, in another box, I can use Angular. It's not like Angular separate or React separate like point. In the same page, I can use Angular also. That means the front-end libraries, frameworks, they allow integration of multiple. You can plug in anything and use anywhere. So you will see later such interactions. Currently, first we learned how to create a web application and how do we set up the environment. So here, what is the key concept here? So what we have to do? So React 17 uses React DOM.render method to create virtual DOM and render elements into virtual DOM. So it uses React DOM.render. So syntactically, you write a script, type Babel, and here we have React DOM.render. And what is the render? So some message, and we will put by ID. This is some root. I will give the complete code of that particular page. That means I will give the complete code. Index.html code I will give and home.html. The code I will give, you can try. So into which location you need to render, you need to define. So now we created a traditional web application, and in this traditional web application, we are using React. So I will copy the code of these two pages. Index.html. Let me copy this code. And home.html, I will copy this code. These two I will upload into the Google Drive. You have access to that WhatsApp community now. In that community, you got the drive link. There is a drive link, Google Drive link. In that, notes is there. Today's notes also I will upload there. You can get it from there. Okay, I hope you are clear. So first you try this. In tomorrow's session, we will learn more about how to install and use. This is CDN. Without CDN, how to use. That we will see in next session. Tomorrow we will do that. And now we will learn more how to design a component and how to use the components in React. We will take one real-time example and we will try to create that real-time example using this. The best example, first we will start with this one. We will create Netflix. We will try to create this Netflix screen by using React. That is our first attempt. The first session, we will see how to deal with this, how to do. For that, some more basics you need to know that we will see in tomorrow's session. If you understood the topics in tomorrow's session, then we will start building this. That means before you really start React 18, you can build like this. That we will see with React 17, how we can build this kind of environment. Netflix is officially React.js application. Netflix, Amazon, these are all officially React.js. We will learn how to build this screen in the next session. Tomorrow we will do that. Okay, right.